name is BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run. Warning. Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe. Oh, it's Chasing Joe against Cobra the enemy, fighting to save your day. It's BenFlyingRetro. It's Thursday. It's Chasing Joe. I have got my no problemo jumper on. That could be a clue into who donated this week's issue. Is there anyone else out there?
It's Jabinator.
Sometimes there might not be anyone out there, and I'm literally doing this on my own. That would be awful.
No. I'd be curious. No, like, dude, surprise me one day. Just drop a show. It's the Ben Solo show.
Can you imagine?
Ben flying solo.
Imagine. Look, if I'm wearing this top, you know that Mark from Talking Joe has sent me a comic in a big bag.
Or maybe you don't know. Maybe you weren't around last week where you got the explanation. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You've lost Mark's packaging, so you've had to put his comics in a bag.
I pride myself on... I won't just put them in a random mailer. No, I won't do that. I won't, fool you. Look, how have you been? Are you okay? I do like to check up first with you before we start hitting up the Joe.
Been a hell of a week, but yeah, okay. Let's hit up Joe. Let's put the week in the rear view. Put GI Joe.
I have checked, because that would be embarrassing. There is a book in here. What has Mark, he was walking around Joe Fest, something caught his eye. He went box diving and he came out with, it's issue 85, December 20th, 1988, on the precipice of hopefully a fantastic Christmas for all of us. Whoa, this looks exciting. But, as always, if you dare open your mouth and start trying to talk about this book, you will be shot down because you don't have the resources yet to talk about it because you're not immersed. You're living in 2025, and I want to take you back to December 20th, 1988. I'm going to take you straight to the Megaplex. It's Twins. Twins was a Christmas movie, it turns out. Christmas release. You could have watched The Naked Gun, which there's a new Naked Gun out with Liam Neeson and Pamela. And wow. My wife is desperate to see it. Apparently it's very good.
Okay.
Scrooged was out. So if you wanted to actually feel Christmassy, you could have Bill Murray'd yourself. Rain Man was out, which I watched recently. And Tequila Sunrise, one of my faves from the 80s, kind of an obscure, middling 80s film with Kurt Russell and Mel Gibson and Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, I think me and Chief discussed that on the Out of Timers.
I seem to recall that.
Gosh. What time, though. 88. There's just films everywhere. It's a great time. I mean, I've been to the cinema 3 times last week, and the trailers and the current landscape of cinema, it's so bad that you can really just you just have to sort of laugh at it. It's funny. And then at the end of the trailers, I got a trailer for Back to the Future. It's having an October re-release. And I was like, look, shame on you, everything. I was like, that's a film. It's just, the trailers were so bad. What did I see last week? I saw Batman Begins because they're having a Christopher Nolan season at my local.
God, Ben, do you see any actual current releases?
I try not to.
You only go to the cinema to see these sort of throwbacks. Well, thank goodness you have a cinema that does these things.
Then I went to see Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire with Indy. And then I went to see the 50th anniversary of Jaws with my wife. And she said she was going to go swimming afterwards because very close to the beach. We took my board shorts, towels, everything, and she couldn't do it. She could not do it. She has such a phobia and a fear. I thought she was going to do it. I was very disappointed.
I hear the distinct chorus of "I told you so" playing right now.
But when it came to loading up the car and I was putting in I was like, okay, good, this is happening. It didn't happen.
And your wife, I believe, is quite at home in the water. So
Very
it must
at
have
home.
taken she had a big scare.
I think it's the nighttime thing. Like
Sure.
swimming
Dark
out to the
water.
buoy. Yeah, swimming out to the buoy is quite far. And like you would probably have a panic attack after seeing Jaws. It would be fun.
I felt something.
I'm going to get you out of the megaplex. I'm going to put you in the car. I'm going to turn on the radio, and fingers crossed, this is what we hear. You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. That's it. Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses was doing the rounds on the radio. The official number one at that time was Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. Never heard of it. Look, this is something I want to talk to you. I'm going to get you into the comic shop. We're going to pick up this, obviously, but I'm going to make you pick up Superman issue 28, Superman in Space. It's the 80s. You had to get to space at some point. Superman begins a self-imposed exile into deep space. I am here for the zaniest. Look at that cover. This is a new feature in the show where we're actually showing people some of these zany comic books. Superman, there's a Superman film out at the megaplexes. Have you seen it?
Yes, the James Gunn Superman.
Okay, how was it? Apparently it's feel good. He's a good guy. There's positivity.
Superman's kind of a nothing burger character to me. That might be stepping on some toes. I think everyone's doing phenomenal work. I like David Corenswet. I don't know if I'm on board with like Lex Luthor being a whiny like tech bro.
They seem to have struggled in new kind of versions of Superman. What to do with Lex Luthor? Yes, they do seem to be struggling because they
my favorite
tried that before with the tech bro stuff.
Yeah, with what's his name, Zuckerberg, Jesse Eisenberg.
I guess he has to have a corporation, so it probably would be big tech.
Yeah, big tech, and also just Bezos. He's Mr. Amazon as well.
I will go and see a Superman film when the movie poster is that, my good man.
Superman in space. Well, but it does beg the question because Superman's depicted on like a respirator.
Mm-hmm. He's not doing well.
No. He's in space, but he's on oxygen, presumably.
Look, the Chasing Joe subsidiary should be chasing the batshit crazy books that were out at the same time as some of these Chasing Joe issues. Video games, it was just not the arcade. I think you would have been, on the 20th of December, you would have been sat at home just keeping everything crossed that a NES would be there on the 25th. And if it was there, it would have probably come with Super Mario Bros. 2, which is such an unusual game. I don't know if you know the story, but it was actually Doki Doki Panic.
Reskinned, sure.
And he's running around with turnips, vegetables. But apparently it was not. It was a very successful game. I always kind of viewed it as like difficult to play. I was like, what is this? But I was coming to it late. But it's a very strange entry in the Mario sort of pantheon.
If it was good, it was not borne out by sales, because by the time things filtered into my neck of the woods, the only carts you could get was Super Mario Brothers and 3.
Yeah.
Like that thing fell into the abyss.
Yeah. Look, let's get you to the toys, because I know that is why you are here. And for that Christmas, the weapon of choice for catching ghosts in New York was the Real Ghostbusters Proton pack. I feel like every single one of my friends had that, and I didn't, and I really wanted it. I do have about 4 that I'm always favoriting on eBay. One day I'll pull the trigger and get one. I just want to wear it out. But they're actually really small, and I remember thinking that
they're comically small. Yeah,
they're really undersized. I remember thinking that they were vast. I don't know why I thought that. I think they probably were small.
Sorry, buddy, you got to have HasLab money to get a proper replica one. But
look,
I didn't even have the one that popped like the yellow balls. I lame ass. I had the Ghost Trap. I was that kid. Yeah. Very lame.
I mean, there's nothing lame about that Ghost Trap. It's super cool. But I don't want the cultural landscape of toys every single episode to be GI Joe, because we'll just be talking about the same stuff. But that Christmas, I would have been getting a lot of GI Joe, but I would have also been getting and loving a lot of Micro Machines. Ooh. I was a huge Micro Machine kid. They were almost a social currency at my middle school. They were...
Were you trading them?
Yeah, everyone had a pocket full of Micro Machines, and for Christmases, we would get something a little bit extra. We tend to get those lovely, like this size kind of sets, like a little self-contained, could have been like a quarry, and you'd get some of the dump truck ones. I don't remember interlinking them, but I'm guessing you could. And that
you
was the
absolutely
idea.
Could.
That's so weird that I never did that, because I had loads.
Micro Machine Travel City. I'm sorry you didn't do it, Ben, because the fun thing about linking them up is creating effectively your own like game map.
Amazing.
So you could kind of have this zoomed out.
Doing it.
It's
weird.
Dude, I had a handful of them, and I definitely linked them up.
They were very done.
They were notoriously difficult.
How could they always link though? They always had an entry and an exit point.
Yes. Okay. Well, you would have to, if you wanted it to make sense, get your kind of streets to line up.
God, I remember the quarry one so well, and there were some play features in some of them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The quarry, you could wind it, and the little sort of caterpillar track would move up. I think my nephew tried to use actual rubble on it and broke it.
I have
my 35-year-old toy. You broke it, you little bastard.
I remember for one Christmas getting a 2-pack, and the Micro Machines, they had lights.
Oh, the best.
That were very, very well done, like really bright lights. And I remember on the packet it said battery lasts 7 hours, and I remember I was going up to my brother thinking, that 7 hours, that doesn't seem great. What happens when they run out? And he was like, no, 7 hours is really long, dude. You're not just going to sit there with it on for 7 hours. And yeah, those lights never, ever went out.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of got into I thought the planes were good, and actually not my bag, really. But I loved Micro Machines. They were so fun. So you were a Micro Machines kid too?
Big time. And it went beyond the 80s to when Micro Machines started doing Star Wars IPs like that. That became huge. I was collecting the Power of the Force figures in conjunction with having the Star Wars action fleet.
You were doing everything that they wanted.
They had articulated figures that could go inside your X-Wings. And snow speeders.
I'm getting some memories of seeing that. That's crazy. They must have been small.
They were amazing. Yeah.
Look, every Christmas, my mum would always make sure that we got some kind of a board game. Now, do you have any memories of these 2 game changer board games? First one, Crossfire. Now, Crossfire was a game that you'd get for Christmas, and it would probably be broken by end of play Boxing Day, and you'd go again because the springs in the guns. We loved this game so much, just feeding in those hoppers and just it worked well. It was fun. Do you have any memories of this, or am I just on a different planet?
Zero, dude.
Zero.
We had hungry hippos. We had baboon balls. We did not have a Crossfire. What was it? Did you just have to shoot targets on the opposing side?
So the little what would you call them? The little barbarians would shoot
Barbarians
right on the bottom, so they would come out flush to the
I love
surface, and they hit the puck. You had different puck, like a star-shaped one, and the puck would have a centralized ball, so it would fly around, and you had to get it into the other person's goal.
Gotcha. Okay.
But they would hurt. I mean, these things would fly out. I'm talking like rapid.
So the ball bearings or barbarians,
I don't know.
into the game. They enter the game board, and on the game board there's a puck that they're essentially moving.
Yes.
Okay.
But the springs, dude, the guns, they just wouldn't last. They couldn't handle the physics of it and the pressure that they were under. They just weren't. It was impossible that they were built to last. It just imagine pulling that trigger. It was just relentless.
Yeah.
But anyway, don't worry, because when those broke, you would bring out crossbows and catapults. Deep cut for this guy. Never knew if I was playing it right. Usually it would be my brother and our older cousin playing, and I would just be watching thinking, what is this? You build not a castle, more of like an embattlement or something, a fortress, and then you'd have these elastic band like crossbows and catapults, and you'd flick, and you had to destroy and get through and collect these little things.
Oh, it's physical Angry Birds.
God,
I love this. This is amazing.
It really was amazing.
I would have lost my mind playing this. And then do you go like sort of onto a game board once you've broken through the enemy?
Yeah, there was a game
battlements?
board. I can't remember if we ever played it correctly. You know, a lot of these times, if you'd have actually read the rule, but you were probably doing it all wrong. But it was turn-based, of course. And it was just so fun.
Flinging the shit out of your enemies.
I remember
like
the
camp.
smell of the plastic so well. And the kind of rubber of the elastic bands. Yeah. Anyway.
It looks like it's the same kind of blown plastic as like a plastic army set. Yeah?
Yes.
So quite hollow.
Yeah, hollow.
It's not a high quality like a construction system like Lego. These are hollow. They just stack. They don't lock. Yeah?
You know, you're totally right. My mum would always try and cover all bases at Christmas. You know, we enjoyed fantastic Christmases in the Martin household, and you know, every Christmas. I mean, look, they were GI Joe based for many years.
Amen.
But she would always make sure I had a board game. Yeah, my kids were not massive board gamers, to be honest with you. It's kind of, I don't know.
Well, you need to spend a bit more time with Chief, I think. He'll get you onto the right stuff.
Oh, we played some good ones with him. There was like an like an American football, Blood Bowl. Oh,
Rad.
Blood Bowl and some kind of Space Marines one. Not Warhammer, like in between that, like a
bit more entry level.
Yeah, you were basic. Oh God, people are going to be going crazy in the comments. But anyway, look, we're immersed. We're really immersed at episode 52, running total £233, 23 pence, $316. I am up to a heartwarming 16 donations. This is from the kind and warm-hearted Talking Joe, Mark Funky Bunch.
Wolf ears.
This beautiful issue. I need to smell it.
Brave Star didn't have a sense of smell power.
This is quite an exciting issue, even to be holding. Woo!
Nose of the Bloodhound.
Oh, God. This actually smells a little bit on the damp side, this one. I don't think I've smelled a damp one. I think this book has been wet. I'm getting
It's been in Brighton, mate. That'll explain
It's
it.
kind of mildewy.
Okay.
That's it. It's a damp book. It makes me damp. Let's get into it. Let's start
Mark
with...
likes it moist.
We've got a cover. We got a very much a V2 Storm Shadow, but I don't know if his hood is down or something because he's got that kind of V1 head.
I think not loving that.
His hood is down, isn't it? Or I don't know. Why has he not got the hood, the V2 hood? I feel like it's missing there. You're trying to sell me on this fig. I do need him finished.
Yeah, the accuracy went into getting the bow right, but...
Dude, that's in the notes. A nice detailed close-up of a compound bow with a big old sight on it. Beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of bow action within this book. He doesn't use a scope. He operates on feel.
Well, he also typically isn't depicted with a compound bow, but this is Storm Shadow acceptably upping his tech. Like, he's not going to grab a sniper rifle, though he did, actually, in issue 24. But he's got his traditional weapon, but he's using every kind of modern convenience with the pulley system and with the scope.
You know, probably, let's just say, top 3 plastic for me.
Ooh.
V2 Storm Shadow was so exciting when he came out because no one had V1. V1 was the holiest of holies.
Sure.
And to have a Storm Shadow finally in the collection was a real proud day when I got him. That Tetrisy camo, I just can't say enough about how much I adore version 2 Storm Shadow. It's a crime when in 2025 we're seeing a lot of these, he can get a yellowing, he can get that yellowing going on which kills him. Your one is looking pretty fresh. He has been washing his whites with other whites.
And yet not fading his grays.
Yeah.
Look, that's flattering lighting, but this is actually quite a yellowed example. I do have a very pristine white one back in South Africa.
Much of my love for that figure is the rolled up sleeves and the Arishikage tattoo on the plastic in vibrant red. Whew.
We did a deep dive on this figure on the flagship show some time ago, and it was pointed out in the comments section that there's a sculpting quirk which is so deep cut and so cool, but once you know it, you will have a newfound, even deeper appreciation of this figure.
Go on.
You'll notice that the sleeves have a different angle to the way they are sort of falling.
Yes.
Well, that's because if he's in a bow string pulling position.
Wow.
Now the sleeves are gathered where gravity would make them fall.
They do look so cool like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
the sleeves are
clever.
joyous on that fig.
And the level of care from the sculptors in doing the sleeves not identically.
Yes.
They're sculpted to look like they are... I
appreciate that.
Yeah, they fall in a certain way when he's in a certain pose, and that's fucking clever, dude.
It's
for
very
a basic,
clever.
Cheap, these were cheap toys back in the day.
Yeah.
For that kind of care to go into this figure made him somewhat of an event, something special.
He was something special. He was an event. It was the second version of
the second coming
of just such a classic figure. He was always going to get another version, of course. My God, for me, they nailed it with V2, and he's never looked better. Anyway, what are we feeling about this cover? Since I've read the issue, I actually think the cover, I like it. It's got a very kind of extreme close-up feel. Like, it's very tight on him. I do like it. I actually think I want something different now, having read the issue. Don't know. How do you feel about it? You can't look past you're missing that hood, aren't you?
Yeah, that does hurt it for me. It's
Yeah.
it's perfection. Other than that, I mean,
Yeah. Detail.
anatomically, the detail on the bow, like you've got screws, you've got the way the lens of
Yeah.
the bow. I mean, I know you don't necessarily are in favor with the fact that it has a scope at all, but like, come on, this is great. Storm Shadow's eyes.
He almost, it's got that, you almost feel like your perspective, you are actually looking at him through a scope. It has that sort of punched in,
Yeah,
awkward crop about it. It's a little bit of a strange crop. Like it feels like, yeah, someone's zooming in on him there. Anyway, it's pretty cool cover, but let's get on to the real deal. Paul Ryan on pencils. What an opening page. SFX. Intrigue. What a fantastic opening page. What makes it is you don't know what you're reading. You're like, okay, what's going on here? You just got that click, 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 clack, click, clack of the walking on that hard floor. Highly cinematic, very immersive, just a fantastic, kind of just gets you jacked for reading the book. Jinx flashing her own tattoo there.
I mean, that is the giveaway that it's Jinx.
Yeah.
Like, would you have known back in '88 that is Jinx?
I'm actually going to say yes.
Yeah, short
yeah.
dark hair, Arashikage
Yeah.
tattoo. Yeah, okay,
I'm going to
good.
say yes.
Because so much of this book is layered, like visual hinting. Like there's so much on the page that you need to kind of, on a deep inspection.
Well, and
you
sound. SFX. I mean, and
Sure.
so much of this issue is the audio nods and the sounds of things that are happening. But quickly, before we get into the bowels of this book, why don't you give us one of your synopses? It'll be a quick one.
Okay. Well, yeah. Look, more than doing a synopsis, just to get everyone on the same page as to why this issue is called SFX, it is the not silent issue that features Storm Shadow. Issue 85 is famous for having no scripted dialogue. It is the only wording on the page are the onomatopoeias, the SFX, the sound effects.
Big word.
Yeah, I gotta work it in somewhere. It tells the story of Jinx going to an exhibition that a famous sword is being exhibited. It turns out it's an Arashikage sword, but this is a trap that Zartan is springing to somehow ensnare Storm Shadow. Zartan is able to lead some red ninjas to Storm Shadow's dojo in San Francisco, but Storm Shadow is able to turn the tables on him, and I mean, the whole thing is just a running battle between Zartan and his goons and Storm Shadow and Jinx, resulting in Zartan going over the Golden Gate Bridge in a Volkswagen bus.
Yeah.
And,
Emma's after one of those, actually. That's what
all
she
right,
wants.
a surf wagon, cool.
A lot of
Folksy
red ninjas
bus
in this as well. A lot of red ninjas doing the rounds as fodder.
As fodder, but they are capped. Like there is a finite number of them. If you count how many go into a room, that's how many Storm Shadow dispatches. Like there is not this kind of loss of continuity. It's an issue that takes deep care with its details.
My dude, if every comic I picked up off of my little rack over there was like this and to this quality, I would be a happy man. I could read books like this all day. I'm a huge fan of this issue. What does it mean to you? Do you remember it as a kid? How have you just read it? Usual questions.
Yeah, no, this was a much later discovery.
Okay.
And like any silent or semi-silent issue, it always it's a very arresting moment when you open it up and the penny drops that, oh, they're doing that again.
Yeah.
But this one has a twist.
Yeah. It's after the first few pages, like, But
yes.
do you own it now?
I do not.
You do
Wait,
not.
no, I do. Sorry, it's Ben. Every time you ask me this question, I have to like file. Like, of course, I
Yeah.
have it in trade paperback, but do I have the actual issue? I
The
do.
floppy. Okay,
I
you
have the
do.
floppy. Yeah, not with me, which is why I can never answer that question immediately. I have
Well,
to like
interesting.
catalog.
This was a donation. I don't know if this is, I hate this phrase, a key issue, or if this fetches a higher price. I don't believe it does. It's probably a little bit more than your bog standard issue. But yeah, this was a donation, so I do not know. All I do know is we got Paul Ryan on pencils. How are we feeling about Paul Ryan on pencils?
Paul Ryan is working overtime on this book.
Whoa,
It's
he is.
insane the amount of detail that he's packing in each panel. It's like nothing is phoned in.
You see,
Like,
look, we compare it to that 90s, that issue we did a couple of weeks back. The level of detail in the panels. The panels are filled from the back to the front. There is no, things in the foreground have got just as much detail as the stuff in the background. There's so much to take in on every single panel of this book. I prefer this to 21.
oh wow,
Yeah, I
those
prefer
them's
this.
fighting words.
Yeah, I
Jeez,
prefer
man.
this as a. Yeah, I do. I just
Okay.
think this is almost like my kind of perfect issue. I just think it's so cool. It's so well done. It's so like.
I'm
Oh
loving
my.
your enthusiasm, but better than 21. Wow.
Yeah, for me personally,
Okay.
I just like. I love Jinx fighting these three badass. The way they come in the samurai outfits is so cool. And it just cutting back to Storm Shadow sweeping the floor, and then we get into the action, and it's just, I love it. I
Okay.
absolutely adore it.
So
I don't
Zartan has
even.
laid this trap. He's got a Arashikage sword, presumably something that he'd been holding on to, maybe from his time with Onihashi, the swordsmith.
Mm,
And he's got it exhibited in this San Francisco museum. He is in a phone booth in disguise, and he's got the line tapped so that when Jinx makes the discovery that, oh, what, there's an Arashikage sword here, let
yeah.
me call Storm Shadow. He taps the phone, gets the number, which he then punches into his computer and is
Boop,
able to
beep.
determine where this number originates and
Arts
find
Academy.
Storm Shadow's dojo. Then he's got, as part of this trap, he's got red ninjas in the cases, in like ceremonial samurai garb. The amount of contrivance to lay this trap, it's just astounding. Like,
Again, we say it every episode. I've read it. I've looked at it. Now I want to see it. Now I
yeah,
want to see it. My
okay.
like no two ways about it. My favorite panels and my favorite part of the book is in my notes it just says Storm Shadow Prep.
Oh,
He
yes.
is first of all he's got his torso out and he's tops off. Then he starts getting ready, and it just you can hear the whoop 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 whoop, and you got that exterior shot of the Arts Academy, and then he goes dark, baby. He turns off the lights, and he is gonna unleash an ass whooping. And his first thing he does is he gets that bow out through the helo window. Whoop! Oh, come on. These are your toys,
Max.
S-Jubs. I mean,
Dude, okay. I'm starting to get your love for this issue and why you put it over 21. And it's just this very evocative ninja 80s, like 1v army. Like, Storm Shadow is taking on bad guy ninjas in the dark. This is
yes.
a movie, a
Yeah,
1980s movie. This is.
tell me, look at that. Ka-chunk, the Red Ninja loading his gun there. That's a movie. Outside. He's
Sure.
outside. He's outside of the door. Then he throws the sword through the door, and you can see the pull of his cloth. Like, God, there's so many good takedowns. Where's the other one? I mean, he's really using that bow. Where's the one where you just see his expression? Oh, it's the dude in the car. It's the dude in the. Oh, where is it?
In the surf wagon.
Yes.
He just
I can't
slumps
find
over.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's right at the end. So the red ninja behind the wheel of Zartan's getaway bus gets hit with an arrow in the
Oh, yeah.
back.
You just hit the thunk. It's like thunk, and you're like, dude.
He's like, his life has just left his body. And then he slumps over the wheel, and that's when it careens over the Golden Gate Bridge. Never mind the fact that, like, the greatest, like, bit of Bowman
Oh, there's another one.
action happens as the prelude to that. And this is absolutely so well scripted and so cinematic. The fact that Zartan's first arrow destroys all of Storm Shadow's arrows, like the spares that he has in the bow and the one that he was drawing.
Yeah.
His second arrow, which was going to kill Storm Shadow catches and he loads into his bow. And he uses that.
And you can just imagine how cool that would be in live action, can't you? That's proper like Legolas stuff.
It's that like
catch it and feed it in.
Jump out of your seat, fuck yeah moment that the audience just erupts into. And I've been in the cinemas when that has happened a couple of times. And it is, I will never forget those moments. Can you recall a moment like that in the cinema? Where the entire audience went, wah!
Yeah, well, they gave Legolas a moment in each one of the Lord of the Rings films, didn't they? With his bow, doing something cool. There's a great one of him at the end of Fellowship. I think it's only in the extended edition. I think in the cinematic version, he takes down like 3 orcs. In the extended version, he stands there and loads and takes out like 10. It just goes on and on, and it's
rapid fire.
So cool. But look at this. There's another. I mean, there's arrows flying everywhere in these panels. Here is another great one.
I'm gonna make you big.
Through.
Oh yeah, the arc of the back of the red ninja.
The pace of that thing going through your body, and look, we take it to the streets. We get a Jinx rocks up on the motorbike, and we get. You don't often see this too much in Joe, but you get the kind of, this like machine camera burst.
Yeah, ghosting of. It's very much a Spider-Man convention.
Yeah,
of seeing
much so. To see that
seeing Storm Shadow vaulting out of the building and doing a tumble midair, but it's all kind of ghosted out slightly. And the one that's properly inked is the landing. On the top of that Buick or whatever it was.
So I would say that none of it is ghosted out for me.
Oh, right. Okay.
Everyone is inked the same. Well, for my money, but don't know. What, you think there's a fade to them, do you?
The preceding, yes, it's slightly lighter. So there are essentially 5 Storm Shadows on this panel.
Vertical panel.
Yeah. 4 of them in motion, and the last one landed. And the landed one
blows out all the glass.
Yeah. Shit. Whoever's owning that car is having a bad day.
Man, this needs to be filmed.
I have a question for you though.
Oh, always.
He has mercilessly slain every single one of the goons.
Oh yeah.
But when given the option to fire an arrow at Zartan or fire an arrow at Zartan's driver, he goes for the driver. Why not end it?
You think he has the option? I suppose he does, because you're looking at a marginal difference there.
Well, to hit the driver, he's firing through a glass window and then presumably the back of the seat. That the oh no, he goes into the back of his neck. Okay, so he's able to hit the driver's neck through a window from a moving motorcycle. Surely an easier shot would have been Zartan, who's poking out of the top of the bus.
No. Disagree, because he's flailing around up there. That is very much a moving target. You get it through that big square window, you're going to get a kill. I
suppose Zartan is going to see it coming, whereas the driver is concentrating on the road. So he's
not actually going to get anything, because the arrow will just bounce off the glass. But
I disagree. I think with a compound bow, you can get enough force. Yeah. But what the points of the arrow would do beyond the glass would add a little bit of randomness. Like
Yeah.
anytime you're having to shoot through glass, even with
Dude,
high power guns, it's
it's
going to add some kind of deflection to the
but
bullets. Or
he's thinking two birds with one stone. I mean, they're shifting there on a bridge. He's thinking, well, I take out the driver,
the
they're going to
pursuit is
crash,
over.
and
Yeah.
that's by proxy, Zartan will go as well, and he does. He goes into the drink.
Okay,
And
I
just
buy
like
that explanation. Yeah,
just-
that's probably bringing the chase to a definitive end as
just
opposed
like
to just
that,
taking
book
out
is
Zartan.
over, and you are just like, whoa, what just happened? That was exciting and amazing. That's what you're thinking. And basically, what you do is you just go back to page 1 and you just go again.
Really? Did you do that?
That's what you do.
Did you do that?
Because you can flick, once you've done a detailed look on each panel, you can actually flick through it quite quickly, almost as quickly as this.
Real time it.
You get like a motion of, it's such good storytelling. There's so much thought in these panels, dude. It's not just, yeah.
Look, you
No
made
waste.
I don't necessarily say that one artist is superior to the other, but like clearly we've got a guest artist on this issue. He perhaps had a bit more time to bring it, to pull it all together. So
I
it
think they
might
would
not
give
be
you
a
different
fair,
time.
yeah,
for
but it
sure.
might not be a fair contrast with old Phil Gozier in the 90s. That's what you were getting at. You were like, oh,
No, maybe not.
that
I
book
just
was
think
pants.
you maybe you just don't know how these are coming out, do you? He could have been working on this whilst other books were coming out, and he's had a bit more time. Could have had 2 months, or I don't know. You just don't know, do you? Did he do the cover as well?
No. Did he?
Oh wait. Oh no. Who's the cover?
Weeks?
McLeod,
Oh,
Ryan.
yeah. Okay.
2 people.
That would be Bob McLeod. I don't know who Ryan is. Comments can help us out, or I could just Google it. Oh,
Well, no, Paul Ryan. No.
Okay. Right.
So he did. He
Did the cover
as
too.
well. Yeah.
Well, then that's odd to me. Why then the conscious decision to change the hood into a more standard
Yeah, strange.
mask? Because he, on the interiors, he definitely knew what he was dealing with. Maybe it was a case of the cover being completed long before the interiors were finished.
Yeah, so fun to think of when they're actually sat with those, those big boards, and they're just drawing it out, and he just had the decision. He's like, oh, I don't know, this looks good. Out it comes, and in 2025, the two of us are digesting it, talking about it. That's why we love comic book art.
Love it.
I probably sense that I am more hyped and pumped about this issue than you are.
Look, it's the gift that keeps on giving, because while most fans will not, as you have done, put it on a pedestal above 21, it's certainly something that deserves to be in conversation with the Silence issue. Like, the fact that SFX is not more talked about is a shame. But I guess it's the unfortunate case of like retreading. There's no prize for coming in second, right? I have a question for you, BenFlyingRetro.
Oh, yeah?
I have in my hand 2 unmasked Jinxes. Which do you prefer?
I've got weird headphone issues here. Sorry. One on the right.
This one.
Oh, sorry. My right.
This one. Okay.
Yeah.
This would be the Super 7 O-Ring unmasked Jinx. The other one is a custom that I made. Lazy Boy custom. This is actually a Chun-Li head.
The head is the thing that's throwing me off there.
Yeah,
For
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you like Super 7's effort?
Custom.
Nice. Lazy Boy custom. It's just a head swap.
Yeah. We never, my play with Jinx was never as sort of loaded as her role in the comics were. It was kind of more GI Joe, the movie Jinx.
Yeah.
Was kind of making, do you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, she really is, she's all business in the film as well, but she has a lot to do in the comic and is entrenched with history and stuff. She was never. I know you're a big fan of Jinx, aren't you? She factored into my play, but not mahusively.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Her, didn't you?
I did. I did. Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's called...
did you film it in Hong Kong or something?
And China. Yeah, all over the shop.
Amazing. Yeah, that fit.
Well, have figure will travel. Like if you've got a couple of figures in your moon bag, you can make a play motion wherever you are in the world. That was testimony to that. But I'm not sure she really got any shine specifically in the comic book.
No, not.
She's
not
always
centrally.
there. She's in the picture
there. So
with
I think
Billy
I'm about...
or with Tommy, but she never.
She features heavily, but
she never gets her own story being told.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're so far removed from her figure release that we've got characters like Dawn Moreno, characters like Helix getting massive introductory arcs. And I feel like Jinx missed the boat. She never got that for herself, which sucks because she was the OG, like female Arashi Kage.
Yes.
Let's see her story.
As this issue opens up, you actually think you're getting a Jinx story. Yep. And then Storm Shadow steals all of the panels. Like, he comes in, and that's what I initially felt like when I was reading. I was like, this is okay, Jinx, let's do this. And she gets some nice panels at the beginning there.
And she kind of comes to the rescue, the cavalry on the bike.
on the bike. You can just imagine that working so well in the cinema. Just another one of these issues where I'm just like, come on, I want to experience it in another way now.
I've got to flip reverse your question. Well,
inverse.
What was your reception of this? Is this the first time you've read it?
No, not the first time I've read it, but I didn't own it as a child, so that would have meant it would have been that fateful day when Chief came round and like dropped off a stack, like a whole run of A-Ra. Not like just as neat as like from one to this issue, but yeah, I definitely didn't cover this with Talking Joe. Never made it this far.
I'm glad you raised that. It's a very neat segue, because I distinctly remember, before I'd even read this issue, hearing it covered on Talking Joe with Chief and Chris, and I was in China. I was at the hotel gym in Guangzhou, China, which is
great,
just across the water from Shanghai. No, from Shenzhen. Shenzhen, which is just across the water from Hong Kong. Anyway, it's that sort of southern area in China. And I was listening to Chief and Chris talking about this.
I love that. I do love that podcasts can have that when you're somewhere exotic like that, or somewhere you're forever linked to that kind of, oh yeah, I remember listening to this there, or whatever. Yeah. Maybe there's some people out there making those memories right now.
And in my hotel room was this figure, and that is precisely when I started shooting Bad Luck Lady. Hey!
Yes.
It all joins up.
Yeah. Why am I getting now... I'll just say what I'm thinking. I'm getting memories of you playing with a Jinx that is not in red. Where am I getting these memories from?
So there was a modern Jinx release in the movie line, the Retaliation line. She's in yellow.
That's it.
But that ain't my figure, man. It must have been Paul.
That ain't my figure.
I don't have that modern Jinx. No, my Jinx.
These parts, my Jinx. I say I didn't play with it. I must have. I think she kicked a lot of ass, because it looks like she is effectively in bare feet, because there ain't no red on those feet anymore.
Well, that's impressive considering that's very impressive considering like the flesh is the painted part.
Yeah. So, she looks in a right mess down there.
So hang on.
She doesn't look like she has feet.
Yes, so they're all red.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No
like
flesh
she's
tone.
Totally scuffed. But she's so dainty. She's such a little figure. She's
Yeah.
great figure. Incredible figure.
Well, this is interesting because I didn't have any of the
Bought her not
females.
knowing who she was, I think, at the time.
No, she would have been an enigma.
Yeah.
But I had no female Joes growing up. So when I got my first female Joes, I'm like, yeah, they must have been building them on a slightly smaller armature. Like the skeleton onto which the sculptor is then putting the clay. It must have been thinner, more lithe in the case of the females.
I mean, I need to give Jinx some love. I'm going to dig her out this afternoon.
Do it, brother.
I certainly don't have.
Give us some
any-
paint apps.
Yeah, I don't have. I'll take a photo of her feet. They're such a mess. I don't have any of her accessories.
True story. Bought a beta devilfish at a toy market in a whole lots of vehicles, and there's something rattling around inside.
No way.
A Jinx sword.
That's a great find.
A Jinx sword and loads of lizard eggs hatched, just like crumbled up eggs.
I've said this before. I do love that about this house. Is you never know where you'll find not necessarily a fig, but an accessory, a blaster, a sword. It could be something so small. You're like, huh? Like, you just don't know how the journey of these things, how they end up in these places.
You are a giant contradiction, my friend. Anytime I've seen your house on any kind of social, it looks impeccably neat and tidy. The fact that you're finding accessories lying around, that's astonishing to me.
Yeah, like drawers, they are everywhere.
Right.
This is the wrong version.
That's fine.
I'll
take a Ninja Force Stormy.
This is his photo shoot, kind of ceremonial, moon and stars, like into the star signs. I don't know. I do love this look. It's grown on me hugely. Kind of having him in hand it makes all the difference with this guy.
And seeing him on the page, I must say, Ninja Force Storm Shadow looks pretty good in the Andrew Wildman era.
It's Storm Shadow. You think of white, there's jet black all over this guy. I keep saying moon and stars. There's something about this version that just sort of makes me think of the night sky and these gold accents. He is a fine looking fig. It's like he's more refined, but like his character, like he himself, I feel like is more together here when he's in this. He's training others. His
yin and his yang are in balance.
Yeah, just like this show.
Yeah, man.
This is why we do Chasing Job, for issues like this. For me, I do enjoy this issue. So if you see issue 21 and you see issue 85 side by side, you take 21 to the desert island forever and ever, whereas I take 85.
High praise indeed. Okay. Well, it's now your turn to vote, dear listener.
Well, I think we know how that's going to go.
Well, I want to know if
some people don't read past like issue 78.
Fair. Well, then let me rephrase. I want our comment section to be full of commenters saying, this is why I like 85 more than 21. So that is your mission. If you can find aspects of this book that you can hold over the venerable issue 21, because that's effectively what we need right now. We need this book to be entered into conversation along with the earlier masterpiece.
Cut to me in a year's time saying, "Oh, if I've got 21 and 85, I take 21 every time when I'm reading 21." Could be a case of whatever one you're reading is the one you like. I am kind of a sucker for that. Like, if I see Jaws, I say Jaws is the best film ever made. If I see Empire Strikes Back, I say that. If I see Aliens, like whatever I'm doing or consuming, I'm like, yes, this is the one.
I think 21 might have an advantage in that you will have some kind of like,
of course,
commercial bias. Because flash forward a year or two from now when we actually cover it, you will have had to drop some serious dosh to get that book. So you better fucking love it.
Yeah, that's
all I'm
true.
saying. Yeah.
Well, look, we may not have to be waiting a whole year, is all I will say about that. The
He's
next
done
thing
it.
I'll say is I've been at BenFlyingRetro. Follow me on Instagram. Listen to people who play. You are S Jubs.
Keep it cocked, locked, and ready to rock.
Leader and commander of GI Joburg. What's going on over there, buddy?
The squad are back at it,
loose.
buddy.
You're loose. You're very loose.
Let me say that I think by the time this episode sees air, we will have talked about my favorite G.I. Joe figure of all time. Stick around.
Oh, well, I know who that is. Well, I
Do you
think
know?
I do. Can I say, or?
You can try. Answer your
Shockwave.
guess. Perhaps. Of course. I mean, check the tapes. It's probably been recorded. It's probably been published by now, so enjoy.
Okay, we'll get over there and consume that. Until next week, yo, Joe.
Storm Shadow. Striking from the shadows. Twang.